As I cooked my way through Marco Pierre White's seminal cookbook, White Heat, I came across two desserts that were very similar and just slightly different. So I thought I'd tackle them both head on and see what they're all about. We've got pears with honey ice cream and peach melba. If you've seen my assiette of chocolate, you'll know there are lots of fiddly stages, and reading ahead, these also look like they've got a lot of fiddly, fussy stages. For both these recipes, we need to start with ice creams. So to make the honey ice cream, I start with egg yolks and sugar, then tempered with nearly boiling milk, and then finally adding cream and honey, and then putting through my ice cream machine. And while that's churning, I can make my tuile biscuits. Simply butter, sugar, liquid glucose and flour all blended together. I've then baked them on a tray, but they've come out all gummy and nasty, so I wasn't really happy with those. They taste fine, but they don't look the part. I made another batch and that lot burnt. So by that point, I was fed up with tuile baskets and I pushed them to one side. So on to the pears. After peeling, I'm poaching them in a liquor of water, sugar and lemon juice. Just poaching for 5 or so minutes until knife tender, but I've reserved the peelings from the pears and that's going to go into our caramel sauce. So I'm going to just gently fry the pear skins with sugar. I'm just going to use some of the poaching liquor from earlier. Simmer it and then strain off the skins so I have a caramel sauce to serve. So one of the decorations is a sugar cage. Not the sort of thing I've made before. I don't go out of my way to make sugar decorations. We will have an oiled ladle. We're going to melt sugar to the hard crack stage. That's around 150 degrees C, and then drizzle it over the ladle. I expect this to go very wrong, but let's give it a try. It's not very easy to capture this on camera at the same time, so you'll have to take my word for it. It's going a very dark amber colour, 125 and rising rapidly, so we are nearly there. You know, to the point where I'm a bit like, is it done? Okay, it's there. So I'm just going to shock that in water, just to stop it cooking, and let's try. Yeah, this is not my usual comfort zone. Now, despite the fact I've oiled it, I don't actually know. Yeah, it's hardened now. I don't actually know how I'm going to get it off here. While I'm waiting for that to crystallise, I think I'm just going to try a pattern straight on the silk mat. Silk mat? Silicone mat. No, maybe I wasn't. It's just shattering to pieces. Maybe I wasn't. So this one on the silicone mat is fine, which I'm quite happy with. So I'm going to leave that to completely cool. It's nearly cool. I'm going to do the same on here. And I'm going to try not to think about the washing up. Okay, I'm going to leave those to cool and see where we get to. I think this is a non-starter. I'm just going to have to dip this one in boiling water to get that off and then consign that one to the bin. But I think these circles on the silicone mat, they're a lot easier to work with, so I'm just waiting for those to completely harden. Then I'm going to take slices from these pears, get some lovely flat sides, blaze them with a blowtorch to caramelise the sugar to get that brulee toffee type surface. Those big thick caramelised slices of pear, along with a few slivers of pear, and then our honey ice cream in the middle. Now with the peach melba, I was having to make marzipan. I've never made marzipan before. A lot of firsts in this one. So I'm blitzing together icing sugar, corn flour, almonds and egg whites, rolling it extremely thinly and then leaving it in the fridge to set. I can then cut out some shapes that will look nice on my plate. So for my vanilla ice cream, I'm going to boil up milk and vanilla and use that to temper an egg and sugar mixture, adding in the cream, and then pour into the ice cream machine to churn. And so a raspberry coulis, so therefore we are just whizzing together raspberries, lemon juice and sugar, and that's it, no cooking involved. And actually, This is super tasty and I'll definitely make this again. For my peaches, just like with the pears, adding them to a very strong sugar syrup of water, sugar with a little vanilla, and just poaching them for about 5 minutes until a knife goes in with no resistance, and then covering and leaving to cool in the liquid. Bizarrely, Marco doesn't mention whether you should peel the peaches or not. They look like they're peeled in the picture, and that would obviously give a more uniform presentation. But I'm going to leave the skins on as there's no mention of it. I'm also going to need some sugared nuts as decoration. Well, that's just nuts and sugar with a little drop of Cointreau, all melted together and then poured out on a silicone mat to dry. And then to serve. So I've got my raspberry coulis and a sugar decoration. I've got the marzipan, which again, I am just flashing with a blowtorch, adding some ice cream, and then topping with a peach, sugared nuts, so 2 desserts from Marco Pierre White's groundbreaking book for the time, White Heat. What we see here are desserts that are inevitably for restaurant service. I cannot criticise it for something that it is designed to be. It is not dumbed down at all. It is, here's what we serve in the restaurant. And without even tasting them, inevitably, I know they are going to be good, but probably not worth the effort overall. However, that's not the point. The point is to have a look at it and see what's going together. I'm going to apologise off the bat. I haven't done all the garnishes here. The tuile was just irritating me too much and I was wasting too many ingredients trying to get the bake just right. It's a biscuit, well, a caramelly biscuit. I understand what that's bringing. There should be little micro herbs and frosted berries for both, but that's there for appearance. And obviously that does mean my pear dish in particular is quite beige. Whereas the lovely raspberry coulis in the peach dish, surrounded by the marzipan, looks terrific. Marco says perfection is lots of little things done well. Well, this is lots of things done to a mediocre standard. I'm pretty sure the ice cream's going to be good because I make a lot of ice cream. The sugar cage turned into a decoration and the caramel's too far. Conversely, the caramel around the outside, I didn't push it far enough. Lost my nerve a little bit, but let's have a little bit of peach. Yeah, the peaches have taken on some caramel. The caramel itself is really interesting. Poaching the skins in the caramel first is a really nice idea to get a little bit more boost. Honey ice cream is a really nice touch with this and therefore makes it just that little bit more interesting. They're not my favourite fruit in the world. I very rarely choose to have one, but undoubtedly a very sweet pear dish. Meanwhile, over at the peach melba. Okay, so that's wildly different. I would say the peach actually gets lost here. Let me have one more bit. Maybe I didn't get good peaches, but the peach flavour is rather dulled. The raspberry coulis is bright and interesting, and the marzipan really coats the tongue and is kind of dominant. So it puts you in mind of a Bakewell tart, that frangipane almond baked pudding with usually a sort of jammy centre. Now I know I'm missing a texture here in the basket, but this is the more interesting dessert, the peach melba, because all the different things we're going through. It's an excellent tribute to Escoffier, who Marco rightfully reveres. Creates a really, looks great on the plate. So, first of all, should you do these at home? Not this way. If you're looking for a challenge that would take you most of a day, sure, go for it. Here's what I'd recommend. I'm not fussed about the pear dish, I've told you that much. Here's what I'd do. Make honey ice cream. Make this raspberry coulis. It's dead simple, takes a minute. Poach some peaches in a little sugar syrup and then peel them and simply serve honey ice cream, raspberry coulis and poached peaches. And I think that's on to a winner. That's really good. It's always fascinating to try these recipes and figure out if they are worth repeating. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that, please share it with a friend. And in the meantime, YouTube suggests you go and watch this video. I'll catch you next time.